everyone, I'm Renee. I'm a registered dietitian at Pennington Biomedical, and today I'm going to show you how to make spring rolls. So spring rolls are a great summer recipe because they use all kinds of delicious, fresh produce. They are minimal cooking required, so you're not going to have to spend a lot of time over a hot stove or have the oven on for a long time. And they're a really fun way to fit fruits and veggies into your meal. So our spring rolls are going to be served with a dipping sauce, a peanut butter dipping sauce, so that's where we're going to start. So the ingredients for our dipping sauce, we have some peanut butter here, about 1/3 cup of peanut butter. We have honey, vinegar for a little bit of a tang, soy sauce, and then we're going to use a couple of different seasonings. So in the recipe that I'll provide to you guys, we're using powdered garlic powder, and powdered ginger, but you can also use fresh garlic and fresh ginger. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to start with the peanut butter. So this is 1/3 cup of peanut butter. And we're just going to scrape that into the bowl. Right? And then we're also going to use 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So I'm using low sodium soy sauce here. All right. Okay, and to that we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. Just a tinge. And some honey. I have my big, giant jug of honey here. All right. Honey just gives it a little extra sweetness, and if you don't have honey, you can also use a little bit of brown sugar. All right. Okay. All right, and then if you don't like peanut butter or you have a peanut allergy, you can also try making this with almond butter or with sunflower butter. Okay. So now we're going to add our ginger and our garlic. So the ginger looks like this. It's this kind of nubby little root. So what I like to do is just cut off the little nubs here and peel it. And then what you can do is either grate it, use a grater to grate it, or you can just chop it up real finely with your knife. So grating it is quick, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So just have my box grater here. Grate that up a little bit. Okay. So we don't need too much. A little will go a long way. So this is about a teaspoon of grated ginger. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to put in is a clove of garlic. So I have my garlic clove here. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it. If you have a big knife, a chef's knife, you can smush it. Makes taking that skin off a little bit easier. And then if you have a garlic press at home, that makes things really quick and easy. You can just press it in the garlic press and add it into your dish. Or you can chop it up or slice it up. With whatever kind of knife you have. So you can also use just minced garlic for this. If you have the minced garlic that you get in the jar that goes in the fridge, you can use minced garlic too. So now we're going to mix up our sauce, and our last ingredient is some warm water. So in the recipe, I have to add just a couple of tablespoons of warm water, but really you can add as much as you want until your sauce is the desired consistency. So the warm water just kind of helps to loosen up the peanut butter so that everything can get mixed in. All right, so we have our sauce all mixed up. So we're going to set this to the side, and I'm going to clean up this mess a little bit, and we'll get started cutting up our veggies for our spring rolls. Okay, so let's move on to our spring rolls. So our spring rolls have a lot of delicious veggies and fruits in them. So you always want to start by washing all of your veggies and washing your hands too. I didn't say that at the beginning, but definitely wash your hands before you start cooking. So the first thing we're going to do is cut up our cucumbers. So I'm going to peel my cucumber, so it's up to you. You can leave the peel on or you can peel it off. So what I like to do is sort of halfway peel it. So I'm just going to peel sort of every other piece. And then we're going to cut it into some long strips. Cut off the ends. And for spring rolls, I like to cut out the seeds as well, just because it helps them be a little less soggy when they're all rolled up and finished. So now we're cutting our cucumber into strips. And then we'll just set them aside for now until we need to use them. Cut up. And the next thing, let's see, what should we do next? We have so many good options. Next, we'll do a bell pepper. So I have a red bell pepper here. You can also use a yellow one, orange one, green one, whatever you like to use. So I'm going to start by cutting the stem out. Hopefully all the seeds come out with it. We did okay. There's still some in there. Try to get all those seeds. Cut it in half. Pull out the seeds. Right. And we'll cut our bell pepper into little strips as well. So another good thing about this recipe is that you can really, if you can't find in some of the ingredients that I'm using, especially the fruits and veggies, or if you just, maybe you just really don't care for bell pepper, you can leave it out. You can kind of change up this recipe to have it suit your tastes. And we like to try to do that with all of the recipes that we share. Of course, we want you to try new things, and if maybe you have never liked bell pepper, and maybe you would like it in a spring roll. So it's always good to continuously try things, even if you don't like them. But at the same time, we want you to be excited about the recipe and what you're eating. So we want it to be something that you can sort of change up so that you are really excited about it. Okay, got our bell pepper strips there. Get these little seeds out of here. Get out of your seeds. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is cut up our mangoes. So I have a couple of mangoes here. So if you're not familiar with buying mangoes, what you want to look for is one that is just a little bit soft. And you can, if you can only find hard ones, that's fine. Just keep it on your counter for a couple of days, just like an avocado. It'll soften up over time. So just like an avocado or peach, when you press it, you want it to have a little bit of give to it. So there are many different ways to peel a mango. So this is the way that I like to do it, okay? So first I get my peeler and I'm going to peel all the skin off the outside. So be careful because they can be a little bit slippery. My mango is a little bit underripe, so they tend to be a little more tart when they're underripe, but they'll still be delicious. Okay. So we have all of our skin off, our mango, and then to slice it, I like to use a serrated knife. It just, serrated knife does the trick a little bit better. So we're going to cut around the seed. So it'll have a big seed in the middle. So I'm going to do my best to cut around the seed, but you know, can't always tell where that seed is in the middle. All right. Okay. Yep, wasn't where I thought it was going to be. That's okay. Cut the edges off. Yum. Mango. Looks delicious. All right. So now we're going to just cut our mango into strips as well. Our avocado. So this is the last thing we're going to cut up. I have an avocado here. So I'm going to cut it around this seed, like so. Okay. And then if you have a big spoon, you can use your spoon to scoop out the flesh, and that makes it really easy to slice up. Or you can get your knife and cut around the skin as well. Won't come out quite as pretty, but still do the trick and it'll be delicious. So it'll be fine. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to cut my avocado into some slices too. Okay. So some other things that you can add into your spring rolls, which we have already prepared here. Purple cabbage. So you can shred up some either green or purple cabbage. You can even use bagged coleslaw mix. And another really delicious thing to add are shredded carrots. So you can either buy them already shredded, or just you get a whole carrot and get your peeler and just peel some strips off of that carrot. And that is also really delicious in these spring rolls. So, and then you can just leave it at that and have it be just fruits and veggies, or you can add a little bit of protein into it. So I have some options here for us. These are some cooked peeled shrimp. This is a plain omelet that you can just slice up And you can use some strips of egg and put that in your spring rolls too. That's delicious. And then the last thing we're going to put in our spring rolls are noodles. So these are rice noodles. You can get them at most major grocery stores. The kind that we're using today are a little bit flatter, but you can also get like vermicelli style noodles that are really thin, and those are really, really good in these spring rolls. So we're going to put some rice noodles in our spring rolls as well. So we have a kind of a real good balanced spring roll here with our proteins and our carbohydrates, and our dipping sauce has a lot of good fat from the peanut butter, and then we have all of our veggies and a fruit. So we're all set. So, all right, so before I get started showing you how to roll these guys up, I want to mention a couple of other ingredients. So this is romaine lettuce. This is also good in the spring rolls. So use the soft parts, the ends of the leaves. It just gets kind of hard to roll the rolls up with the more rigid parts of the leaves. So just tear off that top soft part and use the rest of it for your salad or another dish. Okay, so we have lettuce, and then fresh herbs are also really yummy in these spring rolls. So I have some cilantro here. So we're going to use some cilantro leaves in our rolls. Basil is also really good in these, and mint too. So if you can find any of those near you, those are great to include. Or if you grow them in your garden, kudos to you. Here's a good place you can use them. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to roll up these spring rolls. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do are roll up our spring rolls. So we're using these spring roll wrappers. They're available at Albertsons, Walmart's, a lot of the bigger grocery stores have them. And they're kind of this like, they're rice paper, and they're sort of this like flexy, dry, circular material situation. So what we need to do is soften them up in water. So you're going to need a dish filled with warm water. It doesn't have to be hot, boiling, just warm. Okay, so I'm just going to get some warm water out of the tap, and I have a big glass bowl. You could also use a sheet pan, a rimmed sheet pan, or a pie dish. Just anything that the spring roll wrapper will fit into, so you can soften it up. Okay. Then you'll also need a flat surface to roll your rolls up on. So I'm going to use this big plate. So the first thing we're going to do is get our rice paper, and we're going to dunk it in our warm water for just a couple of seconds. Doesn't take long. If you do it for too long, then it makes it real hard to work with. So just a couple of seconds, and it'll soften up more as you're rolling it up. Okay. So then we're going to put it on our plate, and I'm going to start with a lettuce leaf, and then we're just going to add a little bit of each ingredient. This is where I start to get into trouble because I want to add so much stuff, but if you add too much stuff, it makes it hard to fill. So you kind of have to find that happy medium where you put just enough stuff. So it takes a little bit of practice, but either way, it's going to be delicious. All right, what next? I'm going to put a couple of shrimp, a little bit of cabbage, and a little bit of rice noodles. Oh, and some cilantro. Can't forget about cilantro. Okay, so once we have a little pile going, we're going to fold in the outer edges. See, it's already loosened up a lot. Fold in the outer edges. And then fold in the bottom, and then we're just going to roll it up nice and snug. And again, this part takes a little bit of practice, but by the time you do one or two of them, you'll be all set. So here is our little spring roll, delicious little package of fruits and veggies and shrimp and all kinds of good things. So I'm going to put this one on our plate, and I'm going to do a couple more. So this is also a really fun thing to do with your family or with kids. And if you have a variety of ingredients, like I do here, everyone can sort of choose their own ingredients and roll them up how they want. So it can kind of be a real fun family activity. And if you think your kids would never in a million years eat one of these ingredients, try getting them to cook with that ingredient, and they might be more likely to eat it and like it. I'm going to put some omelet in this one. Okay. Cabbage, rice noodles. Cilantro. Okay. Fold in the sides. Fold up the bottom. Oops. Fold it up. Ta-da! So you can just keep doing this until you have all of your spring rolls prepared. And then whenever you're all done, you can eat them with your peanut dipping sauce. So I'm going to try to cut one in half to show you how pretty it is on the inside. Sometimes they get a little bit hard to cut. Yeah. Okay. So see? Colorful, all kinds of good fruits and veggies in there. And when you see a lot of colorful fruits and veggies on your plate, you know that your meal is very nutritious. You're getting lots of different vitamins and minerals. So that is that. Fruit and veggie spring rolls with peanut dipping sauce. I hope you try these at home, and I hope that you love them.